If you're sharp one match and flat the next, it's probably not your talent, it's your plan. So in 3 minutes, I'll show you a color-coded season planner that makes you peak on match day. There's absolutely no guessing here. The amateurs train hard every day, then hope they feel good on game day. And that's a bit backward. Your body runs on stress and recovery cycles. Too many consecutive high days equals no real adaptation and no real freshness, which means you not only compromise your performance, but you get exposed to possible injury that could leave you out of competition. So you definitely don't want that. And how do we fix this? Well, we fix it with 4 colors. And let me explain. So a red day equals a high intensity plus high volume. Think your toughest session, or even match day when it's stacked. So a training session could include long-sided games, some max strength work, and max velocity exposure. Obviously, this type of training stresses your nervous system and tissues, and you'll need days to fully bounce back. That's why I'll later show you how to better structure your week for top results. Next, a green type of day, which is high intensity but low volume. This session is usually short with high intensity and longer breaks to recover. For example, in it, we can cover some small side games, acceleration drills, jumps, some power and reactive type of exercise, as well as agility training. And so the big purpose of this session is to live fresh. Next, a yellow type of day, low intensity and high volume. After a tough training day, for example, a red day, you can use this type of session as an active recovery session. You're working, you're just not cooking yourself. Take recovery, mobility, and overall tissue care through some isometric work. You can do some control conditioning and use some medium-sided games for that during team training on the pitch. Next, a blue day, which is synonymous with recovery, 24 to 48 hours post-match. This could be an active recovery session or just a complete day off. Low volume, low intensity, mobility, and overall tissue care. Easy aerobic drills like biking, jogging, or even swimming, and you can also sprinkle some breath work. So here's a weekly scenario with a match on a Saturday. All right, so Monday, we'll start with a yellow day. Remember, you're possibly still recovering from Saturday's match, so this is a match day plus 2 or 48 hours post-match. And I'm assuming you play more than 60 minutes on a 90-minute match. Some medium-sided games, some light conditioning, nothing too crazy because we're still in the recovery process, and finish in the gym with some lower body isometric type of work, core, and some upper body. All right, on a Tuesday, which is a green type of session, or a max day plus 3, your neuromuscular system could be possibly recovered by then, and we can sprinkle in some strength and power type of work along with some small-sided games and agility training. We can also add some acceleration work, obviously in short distances. On a Wednesday, a red day, max day plus 4 or minus 3. So this is the peak of the week as far as loading goes. This is a high intensity and high volume session. You'll be covering more HSR, which is high speed running, as well as sprint distance. Game model rehearsal or simulation, that means you will be covering higher distances, which means you'll be loading the hamstrings, which means you have to prep for this. You'll be doing some max velocity type drills because remember that every single week we need to stimulate this element in order to create tissue tolerance and not be trained this quality. Work your way up to 3 to 5 max intent sprints. You'll complement this session with max strength type of exercises, whether those are trap bar deadlifts or some isometric pushing type of exercises. On a Thursday, which is a yellow day, because we had a tough session the day before, we must help out our tissues as well as our nervous system to bring it down again. This doesn't mean that we will not train at all. It just means that we can do a similar session as we did on a Monday. However, for this particular session, we can also do a blue type of day. It just depends on your type of structure. Some teams like to give a day off after a tough training session. So on a Friday, this is a green day or neural prime day or a match day minus 1. This is a good 15 to 25 minute session. Obviously, you'll get a good warm up before all this. And you can include some speed elements, some fast and explosive activation type of drills, and some short, small-sided games as well as some finishing drills, especially for offensive type of players. You do want to leave gas in the tank. Saturday, this is a game day, guys. Some players like to do a session here, especially if it's a late night match. This is another type of opportunity to microdose. So this will include very similar elements as the days before session. This will get you ready for game time. And then a Sunday, a blue day, active recovery, or day off, you'll want to do a mobility session, light flush, tissue care, and add any other modalities that will help you to regenerate faster for the next week so we can rinse and repeat the process. Load gradually rises and peaks midweek to then drop and then intense spikes again before kickoff. So you're not resting randomly, you're staging your best output. Obviously, every situation is different, so you need to make this process adaptive. 1, morning readiness. So from a scale of 1 to 5, rate your sleep, your soreness, and mood. And if you'd like to take it a bit further, you can use any of the wearables like a Whoop and other devices to monitor your readiness, like for example, your HRV. So if readiness tanks, downgrade the color to a yellow or blue type of session. If you're flying and good to go, then hold on to the plan. Now, 2 quick guardrails. No back-to-back red sessions if possible, and keep your week-to-week load change to less than 10%. So if you're interested, I'll give you the season planner for free with color keys and a weekly template. All you have to do is comment with the word planner or DM me planner. I'll send it over so your next 90 days are built to peak on match day. So stop guessing and color code your week like the pros and not like an amateur.